Welcome to the Loveland Report and the Lone Ranger Show. I am Cleve, Loveland, Central Florida's voice of real estate, alongside Bruce Woodburn, the Lone Ranger, giving you all of your Central Florida real estate news. We don't have to pay celebrities to tell you how great we are.
No, we don't.
We've been doing this for years and years and years.
We can tell each other how great we are.
Exactly. And meanwhile, we are still selling homes and writing mortgages. So,
yes, we are.
But this is really interesting, Bruce. Inventory comes out. We get great numbers from the Orlando Regional Realtor Association. Inventory jumped up. Now, this report only goes back about 18 months, but inventory jumped last month in May, up from April, jumped up to 3,800 homes. That was like a big jump. That was like almost
44%.
Yeah, up. Now, we just went from 3,800 homes to 5,400 homes.
Holy moly.
Oh, my God, it's a bubble. It's going to burst. Now, here's the interesting part. Sales are not down that much. They're down by, we still sold almost 4,000 homes, which is about our average for the year. Usually, what was the sales back in, say, March or April? March or April, there was, let's see here, about 3,000 sales is like our yearly average. Number of sales closed, 3,800.
So we went from 3,800
the number
to
of sales,
4,400.
Actually, the sales have been right at 3,800 for the past 3 months.
Okay.
And then January, or let's see, March was big. Before that, it was lower. So our average every month is about 3,000 to 4,000 is what it runs throughout the year, depending on time of year. School.
And right now
we just did another 3,800 last month. Now this is what's interesting. All those homes for sale. So the inventory jumped up. I've listed a bunch. I take a couple listings a week at least, and talk to a lot of home sellers. But what I'm looking at, when I used to go check their market analysis a year ago, there'd be one listing active and 10 pending. They just sold like within a week. I'm seeing 10 listings that have all been on the market for 30 to 45 days. But here's what's interesting. Their prices are about 10% above where they should be. I'm an expert pricer. I've been doing this for a long time. I can look at your house.
So you think people are still pricing too high?
They're going too high. So the market is turning, and we are going to a stable market where we have 3 to 5% appreciation, and it's still up, way up. We're probably going to do 15% this year, but these people are not getting the right pricing advice, or they're being greedy.
When you're saying the inventory is up, does that mean that it's because houses are longer on the market, or more people are listing their homes, or are less people purchasing homes?
Okay.
Or is it a combination of all of them?
Actually, new listings were up slightly.
Okay.
Number of contracts down a little bit.
Okay.
And so
that means less buyers.
There's still a lot of sellers out there willing to sell. They're listed, but they're just too high. So they're going to take a while to either get adjusted, or they're going to hang on to this pie in the sky price, which isn't going to happen. And so there's people out there.
They're looking at the realtor going, "Where's the 20 buyers you told me we have on the weekend?"
So this is what you got to watch, and this is why you got to watch the market, and this is why I have a job, and you can't just look this up on an app. You got to interpret the market. You're selling a 4-3 with a gorgeous pool. You just spent $80,000 last year renovating the whole house. How do you compare to everybody around you? What price should you be? This is what's really important about picking that market position. And then other things like making sure you're compensating the other agent correctly, not trying to pay them nothing. Making sure you got access to the property. Don't say you can only show it on Sunday between 2 and 4. Things like that. And believe, I come across this, Bruce. I come across these things.
Oh, I'm sure
so
you do.
I come across houses that look like they haven't had the rummage sale yet, or look like there's a hoarder living there, and they're still – I saw some pictures the other day on a listing I was checking out for a market analysis. It looked like a crime scene.
Oh,
I mean, the property looked like a crime scene, like it had been robbed, and there had been a dead body on the floor. The only thing missing was the chalk outline, and that was the pictures in MLS. So obviously, and the price was high.
Can you imagine?
What it is we've got a lot of people in the business that have not been in very long, and before you could sneeze and sell a house. Now this is what it's important, is having a consultant, a real estate planner like myself, helping you get your house on the market, seeing what you need to do to get the most money. I usually have my sellers spend maybe 1 or 2% of the price of the home in staging, prepping, and usually that's just decluttering and fresh paint and some sod in the front yard and some flowers and fresh mulch, cleaning this and that up, getting rid of stuff, have a garage sale, have Dave Lowe come over for an estate sale if you got too much stuff. All those things usually don't cost more than 1 or 2%. But now what we're going to see the rise of, this is the rise. This is what comes in a little bit like a normal market. We're going to see the professional. We're going to see the guy that was a realtor, couldn't make it for 2 years, and they're going to be a professional stager.
It's interesting because
they're going to want to rent your furniture.
What did we see on Facebook for the last 2 years is real estate agents going, I just got my buyer $25,000 more than ask price.
Or my seller, yeah.
Or my seller,
yeah.
my seller.
Yeah.
Right? They didn't get them anything.
Yeah.
The market
Yeah.
bared that.
Yep.
And so I think you're going to start seeing real estate agents and mortgage lenders, for that matter, that thought they were good because the market was good really see what it's like to operate, and can you operate and provide that level of service and find the buyers and the sellers in a slower market. And the market has slowed a little bit. Like our new leads here were down about 12%. Now, nationally, I think if you look it up nationally, I think it's down 30%, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, the number of mortgage applications, is that what you mean?
Number of mortgage applications, correct. So but you have to remember, if you take into consideration refinances in that, I mean, who's refinancing?
People
right
are still
now?
buying. Yeah, our
People
sales
are buying.
traffic, because in the bubble, Bruce, in 2008, 9, 10, there was like 1,000 sales a month, 1,500 sales a month. There was nothing. I mean, nobody
Right.
could move. Everybody was stuck, or they were going broke, or they had late mortgage payments. They couldn't get another mortgage. All those things that came out. Nationwide, inventory's up slightly around the rest of the country. Now, here is what I want to show you on pricing. Actually,
Before we go too far, we're 6 minutes into this and we haven't given out phone numbers.
All right, 407-352-8118.
It's nice that you remembered.
Had to think about it for a second.
I've had that.
352-8118 or lovelandreport.com.
Yep, or the loan arranger, Bruce Woodburn, CrossCountry Mortgage. Chances are somebody that you know I've helped with a mortgage, if not you yourself or a family member. You can reach me at 407-250-9144. That's 407-250-9144 for the loan arranger. 33 years in the business, one of the top producing loan officers, not only locally, but in the country. I don't say that to impress you. I say that to impress upon you. There have been other people before you, and there will be people after you. And I am delighted to help you and your family.
Okay. Big thing I want to talk about. Where are the rates at? How are we sitting?
Well, you're starting to pop up. We had a pretty decent week this week. Okay. Like we didn't see rate hikes this week. We actually saw some slight improvements. There's some good days on the market. There was no really bad days and there was no really good days. So things maintained pretty level. But here's what we got coming. We know we got a Fed increase. They've been telling everybody 3/4 to 1, but alluding to a full 100 basis points or 1 point, right? Now they're pulling back on that. And what happens, though, Cleve, is that creates uncertainty in the market. So typically, when there's uncertainty, what do you think they do? They hedge up.
They hedge up, yeah.
Right? They hedge up. So they're like, we don't know what they're going to do, so we're going to assume 1. And if it doesn't go 1, then
rates will come down a little
Then
bit.
they'll come down a little bit.
But we're still we're in the mid fives.
No, you're in the
6%?
high. You're in the high 5s and 6s. I mean, right now I'm doing a ton of Hometown Heroes. Taught a class on Wednesday night, phenomenal class for realtors and general public. But even Hometown Heroes went from 5 3/4 to 6.5 for Hometown Heroes. So the interest rates right now are going to run between the high 5s and the low 6s. Doesn't mean you're not even in the 7s if you have a lower credit score. I saw a couple of clients that were in the low 700s. Low 700 credit scores that are pushing 7% interest rate.
Oh, wow.
So it's there. We are seeing it. I've been telling everybody that by the end of this year, we would see 7.5%. And it looks like we're probably going to see it well before the end of the year.
Yep.
So, I mean, just be prepared. So, you know what? That kind of scares a lot of people out there. But you know what?
Payment doesn't really go up that much.
But here's what it does. Listen, Cleve, we are about giving you the real news. This is not a sales pitch. There's nothing for Cleve and I to sell. We have ourselves. We want you to do business with us. We want to help you. But we're here to give you honest, accurate information. And here's the honest, accurate information. Yes, interest rates are up. You will refinance. Anybody I'm doing a loan for right now, I'm going to refi you when rates drop back down to the 4s. The question is when will that happen?
Probably a year.
Some people,
Year and a half.
I'll tell you, I've talked to some economists like Barry Habib, and he thinks that there is a possibility that come after the midterms, we could see a break. Now, does that mean they'll be in the 4s? No, but he thinks that they'll come down a little bit. But here's the thing. They're not going to come down enough to refinance. They're not going to make a significant difference. What's going to happen is what happens in the midterms, and after the midterms, where do we go from there? But there will be 4s again in your future. But it might be 6 months. It might be 3 years. There's no telling. But here's the thing. even, Cleve, if houses only go up by 3%, 3%,
Yep.
and you put down 3.5% on a mortgage for like an FHA loan,
Yep.
that return on your investment is 86% per
The
year.
thing rising too is rents, especially if you're a first-time buyer.
Rents are going up. It's funny. I looked at my Lake Mary property, and I have these wonderful ladies in my Lake Mary property, and they came to me. I looked and I went, "How much am I charging you for rent?" They said, "Well, $2,050." I'm like, that is a $3,000 home, and here I'm telling all my clients who are landlords to raise their rent, and I haven't raised it. She goes, "I know, I've been waiting for that phone call." And I'm like, so I told my wife, I said, I could jack that up by $800 right now and still be under the market, but I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to raise it $500. Then I'm going to probably raise it another $300. I'll probably do it in 6-month increments. But I mean, come on, Lake Mary on a 4.3 with a pool for $2,000. I'm a fool, but you know what? I got good tenants. I'm going to raise the rent. I want all of you to realize that you need to not be a tenant. You need to be a homeowner. I've got rental properties. Cleve has rental properties, but our goal is to help you achieve the success that we've had in real estate, because it's been great for us.
What's different about this market too is you've got people selling their homes. They dropped down to a 15 years, so they built equity quicker. You got people still coming in from the other parts of the state, and they just sold an $800,000 home, which is equivalent to a $500,000 home here. We've got all these different parts of the market that come into effect. So I don't see our sales slowing to too much. I think we'll go back to a pace we had in 2018, 2019.
Yeah, but I don't think that pace is going to – I think we'll see 5%. You think maybe 15%. You said 15 earlier. Is that right?
On appreciation?
Appreciation.
I think for this year we'll finish up around 15%. And actually, I've got the numbers on
I think
on
that if here's my prediction. I think that 15% is very realistic. And if you have a 15% appreciation and our median sales price right now is $390, you do the math and tell me what it's going to be in 5 years. It's $640. You're going to be $639,000 for a median sales price at a 15% appreciation.
Yeah, we're up 22% over last year on the median price and 18% on the average.
So listen, don't get caught up on the interest rate. None of us like the interest rates right now, but get caught up on the house price. So don't miss out. Don't sit on the sidelines. Your cost of waiting is far greater than having to pay for a refinance a year or 2 years down the road. Forget the refinance. You come to me, all my repeat clients get my employee discount anyway. So get into the house, stop paying your landlord. There's zero appreciation when you're a renter. So get out of renting. Call me at 407-250-9144. That's 407-250-9144 to get pre-approved. I've got every loan program you could possibly think of. Go to my website, save it in your phone, WeBringYouHome.com. That's WeBringYouHome.com. I'm the loan arranger, and I'm here to help you. You can reach Cleve at
407-352-8118. Be happy to help you out. And also landlords, you're having trouble getting rent, getting late fees, call me. I can help you with that.
Yep. So, and, Cleve, you've been in real estate here for 25 years, right?
30
years.
On the radio.
On the radio for 25. Longest lasting radio talk show, real estate show in the history of the planet. But been in the real estate business for 30 years. Okay. When we come back from the next break, I want to talk a little bit about our journey, the things we did well and the things we didn't do well.
All right.
So that our clients know that we made mistakes and where the mistakes lied. We'll be back in 5 minutes with more of the Loveland Report and the Lone Ranger Radio Show. Stay tuned.